My name is David Teo Chie En, and this is not a story about myself, but it's a story about my sister, who passed away 4 years ago on board MH17. On the 17th of July, about 10 p.m, I received a phone call from my dad. He told me, David, have you seen the news? And he told me that actually there was a plane that was shot down over the borders of Ukraine, and then he straight away hung up the call. After 15 minutes, my dad called me again, and he was telling me that, your sister could be on board the flight. That was where my mind started just thinking about the possibilities. It was a very confusing time. I don't know what to feel. How would you feel? Being told that your sister is on board a plane that was shot down and the accident didn't take place here but it took place elsewhere. As a 21-year-old boy, who do you contact? Who do you find? Do you find the government official? Do you look out for the nearest embassy? I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to react. The third call that came in, my dad, he was breaking down. He suggested, why not let's go to KLIA to actually have this verified. I remember it was a horrible trip to KLIA. I was driving and my dad was hitting everywhere. He was just lost. He was not himself. When we finally reached KLIA, it was about 12 a.m. in the morning. So we went to the Malaysia Airline office, and there were these two dudes, and it was my dad that actually went and tell them, my daughter is on board the flight, maybe. Could you please verify this for us? That's where they actually pick up the phone and they make a few calls. We didn't have verification that my sister was on board the flight immediately. We had to wait. We were constantly being asked questions as well. A few families were very restless. It wasn't until 4 a.m. in the morning where they actually led us to, I would say, a secured compound. And that's where they showed the name list. And it was very fast, it was very quick, because out of the 200 over passenger, she was on the first page. And that's where I knew deep down that my sister was no longer with us. When we reached home, in my old house, there was a graduation photo of my elder sister. And my dad went to the piano and grabbed that photo. And he hugged it, and he cried, and kept crying, and kept crying, he kept weeping. And he hugged that dear photo of my sister, and he couldn't let that photo go, and he was just shouting my sister's name, Elaine Jie, Elaine, where are you? Elaine, come back. It's a very painful sight to see, and this memory still burns in my mind. Actually, my family and I have already moved on from the incident. 4 years later, as I look back in life, I think if this didn't happen, I would still be the immature kid that I was. After my sister's death, I realized that I had a lot of growing up to do. Looking back, I think I've grown a lot. I've learned to appreciate people more, but life goes on and we have to be strong for one another, but time doesn't stop for us and life doesn't stop for us. So that is one thing I realized.